Hey guys, this is a quick video to give you some ideas about how you can get past feeling stuck in your job, how you can get past feeling like the world is passing you by, and how you can get ready for a great state of mental health as the new year comes along. I know we think a lot about physical health, but mental health is important too, and I think that has a lot to do with the job that we're in 8 hours a day. So this post is all about how you can be successful in your career, how you can move that career forward, and how you can maintain the happiness in your career that you'd like. So we're going to talk about planning, implementation, and maintenance of what it means to have a career and how Tarot can help you get there. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I wanted to take a moment to check in with you about jobs, career, professionalism. I think that it's a question that tarot readers get asked a lot about, in addition to relationships, romantic relationships. But I tend to get a lot of questions about career and professionalism, and I find that I work really well in that space. So I wanted to connect with you because I get a lot of questions like, people want to resolve why they feel stuck in their job, or they want to resolve that they are trying to make their business successful, but they're not quite sure how to do that. And it reminds me of a period in my life where I was sitting on the L train. I'm in Chicago, and I was sitting in a seat by a window, and I was watching just the town go by, the trees and the buildings and the people, and it was just this blur of things like going by, and I was just stuck in this loop and I couldn't get out. So I turned to working with my tarot cards at that point. I think it is an objective third-party tool that helps you determine what your next steps might be, and that's where I excel at people. That's where I do really well with people, is finding what your next step can be and then helping you plan what those action steps are. Because when I'm not doing tarot, I'm doing project management. So I like to figure out what that calendar is and what those steps are and then implement them. It's something that I really enjoy doing on top of doing tarot readings for people. So to merge the two, incredible for me. So I want to talk about how we can look towards your next step in your professional career or in your job search or making your job better so that it doesn't feel like you're sitting on that train with life passing you by. I think now is a really good time to think about it, especially because we're coming up on the new year. It's time for New Year's resolutions, and we often think about New Year's resolutions immediately as, well, it's time to go to the gym and do some weight loss and think about our health. And we think about exercising, we think about eating healthy, but we don't think about mental health. And I think that if you think about your career as a step in being mentally healthy, it's a new way to think about our resolutions and what health can mean. Let me tell you exactly what I'm thinking. I believe that we spend 8 hours a day-ish at our jobs. That's a lot of our day. And if we're not happy where we are, we're not happy getting there, we're not happy being there, we're not happy leaving there, that's a huge cycle of just angst and depression and discomfort. Why wouldn't you rather be happy about where you're going and what you're accomplishing? So I think that thinking about mental health as the new year approaches is really important. And I think the things I'm going to lay out in here about how you can plan, how you can implement, and how you can maintain actions in order to make your career successful is something that can be beneficial for everybody leading up into the new year, so you can hit the ground running when we get to January. So a little bit about me real quick. My name's Seth. I run the website ComingOutTarot.com. I am a tarot reader and, as I mentioned before, a project manager. Two things that I love to bring together. I like to help you take your next step. I think it's something people forget about. They just hope for a resolution and a solution instead of thinking through the steps they need to take to get there so that they can be successful. I would encourage you to find out more about me at ComingOutTarot.com. There's an About page in there. There's also a post in there about 10 things to get to know about your tarot reader. There's a lot in there that you'll find out about me too. And feel free to read the kind words page that other people have said about the readings that they've had with me. I think there's a lot of great information in there that would make you feel a little bit more at ease about what a tarot reading can do for you, just in other people's words rather than always in my own. All right, so let's get to these topics at hand. So I'd mentioned, I think, what can get you there is planning how to get there, maintaining where you are, and, planning how to get there, implementing that plan, and then maintaining where you are. So let's talk about planning first, because I think you need to plan in order to be happy or successful in where you are. Some people plan in the moment, and it doesn't appear that they're planning at all. Some people, like me, plan ahead of time and figure out that we're going to do all these steps, and then we're going to make what we need to have happen. It becomes an executable thing. So a lot of people come to me based on working with me either at work or after a tarot reading and say, I wish I had a project manager for my life. And it usually occurs after I've worked with them. So they'll say, I wish I had a project manager for my life. Can you just project manage my life? And I can. I can with tarot. I can help you get into those steps and give you that outline so that you have actionable steps to move forward. One of the things that we can relate into the professional setting with tarot is identifying your skill set. So to even get started on what your goal might be, let's say your goal is a new job, or your goal is to be more successful in your current job, or just to be happy in your current job, let's sit down and figure out what your skill set is first. I've got a whole blog post on skill sets. You can read more about that, but basically what we do is we discover what your skills are, those talents that you have that you bring to bear that people know about you, and we can explore depths of those where you may not have thought about the offshoots of those, or some of the things that you're actually accomplishing when you think you're accomplishing something a little more surface. And then we can explore hidden skills. I think exploring hidden skills are those little things, those talents, those tidbits that you probably don't share with the world, but you do as a hobby or you enjoy. Those can come up in a skills reading, and you can think in a new way about how those can apply to your professional life. Because those hidden skills you tend to be really good at, or you need to improve. So you can apply them in your current state, or you can work towards improving them in order to shift the path that you're on career-wise, so that you can do those things you like to do, those hidden skills that you like to do that you're not applying to the trade that you're doing today. What do you do when you know all of that? When you know what your skills are and the hidden depths of them are, when you know what those hidden skills are, what do you do? So what you can start to do is start to look at how to implement putting those skills into your day-to-day. Should you start educating yourself on those hidden ones so they can grow and get better? Should you focus entirely on the ones that you already know you're good at and zero in on them, hone in on them, sharpen them, and start to utilize them in order to either make the current job you have today more of an advantage for you? And we'll talk a little bit more about how you can do that with your bosses and your peers in a little bit. Or once you find those other skills that are hidden and you make them greater, then start to think about what your next move might be, which is potentially updating your resume, looking at career in a new way, and starting to interview. And what I mean by looking at career in a new way is based on your skill set, you can start to use websites like LinkedIn or Indeed or Career Builder, and start to look for jobs that have those skill sets, especially if you're looking at the hidden ones that you may not have researched before. You've just looked at the ones that people told you, oh, you're good at that, or that you've been successful at for a while. When you start to look in those roles for those hidden skill sets, or for the deeper skills that you have on the talents that you're already utilizing, you may start to find that there are industries you never even thought of being a part of. So now what you can do, and this gets exciting, is you can start to look at industry in a new way. Maybe the skill set that you have applies better to a different industry, or is in an industry you didn't even think could apply. For example, as a project manager, I started building my project management skills at a young age when my father made me haul wood, and I had to find ways to get my siblings to do that at the same time so that we were working together. So I built a team. We built a fort out of the wood that we had chopped in order to keep our house warm, but the wood got stacked, it got put away, it was stored. It just happened to be in a fort. So you just need to find the carrot, right? So I think that you can start to utilize your skills by expanding on things you're really good at. So now if you take that example of how I learned to lead a team, then I moved into stage managing and production managing. I really liked theater. I was a theater kid in high school, but I'm still really good at organizing and project managing. So I fell into stage managing in high school and in college, and then eventually started doing it as a paid gig as an adult. And I loved it. I love stage managing. I love production managing, but I couldn't pay my mortgage with it. It was challenging to get that kind of momentum going, but I was still project managing along the way, and I didn't really realize it. Then I got a temp job at a nonprofit where I didn't get to project manage right away, but eventually those skills were uncovered by other people in positions that could create roles. And we created a role for me where I was able to project manage and start to steer the ship of the enterprise on how we could work better together. So I think that industry can be a very, I shouldn't say fickle, a very, something that we're unaware of. I didn't expect to go from stacking wood to stage managing to being an auditor to then being a project manager and now leading a team of people who audit. So many different directions that we can take based in our skill sets. Once you start to identify those, including the hidden ones, then you might start to identify industry through tarot reading. As you're online in LinkedIn and Indeed or Career Builder or wherever it is you're looking for jobs, you can start to look in those new industries that you may not have thought of, and you might start to find jobs that you're interested in, or at least jobs that you could apply for you never thought you could apply for before. I mean, why not, right? Take the leap, see what happens. There's nothing stopping you but you, and you can start to change the direction of your career. But those are steps that we could outline during the course of a tarot reading. I think your next step is, after you start applying, then what do you do with the skill set information that you have? You want to update your resume with that information. You want to update your resume with what you've accomplished based on skill sets you didn't think that you had or weren't paying attention to, but you still had accomplishments in. Update your resume. Update your LinkedIn profile. Get all that stuff shifting towards the industry that you may want to be in. And then you can start to consider corporations. So as you're applying, another tarot reading might help you understand, is this the right corporation for me? Do they have the right environment that I want? Does the environment include components that are important to me, like diversity and inclusion? And if they have that on their website, for example, here's another thing I found. A lot of companies will say they value diversity and inclusion, but then when you start to interview, you may find that that's not the case. Or you may hear from other people who work there and learn that that's not the case. So you can interview, through a tarot reading, your company that you're applying for and start to find out more ahead of time, so that when you walk into an interview, or if you're given a job offer, you're informed with more information about the culture of that company in a way that you may not have been informed before. So you can start applying specific things just from learning your skills to your resume, your LinkedIn profile, to interviews, how you can ask questions in interviews in order to uncover what you're looking for in a company culture, to ensure that you're in an organization or applying for an organization that you actually want to be a part of. Not to mention getting into that job that you think can make you happy, or improving the job you currently have by honing and driving those skills that can make you successful. So after you start applying your plan, what's next? Once you have started to improve your role, or once you have started your job search, or once you've started interviewing, what's next? To me, what's next is, once you've planned, once you've implemented that plan, now it's time to start maintaining it. And there's two or three different things I think you can do to maintain it. Tarot readings can help you maintain a plan by thinking through how you prepare for your week. So thinking on a micro level rather than a macro level, which is what we've been talking about so far. If you can work on that micro level, you can start to think about all those little things that you need to do in order to be successful. You can also start to look at your peer relationships. So either peer relationships at your current job, if you're trying to improve your current job, or peer relationships that you're looking for in order to be successful at a new job. You can start to work through what those are. You can get a handle on them in order to feel like you can be more successful. For example, we all have people that we don't get along with well. We all have people that we get along with famously, right, when we're at work. It's worthwhile, I think, to explore both types of relationships, because if you explore the relationship where you're getting along famously through a tarot reading, you'll find out what those things are that are successful about that particular relationship. Then you can alternatively do a relationship reading for those peer relationships where they're not successful, where there's challenge, and find out why there might be challenge there. I'm going to take this up a step and talk a little bit more in depth about relationship readings, but I want to touch on it on the boss side. So in your current role, or in the role that you might be applying for, or the role you're looking for, how do you find out more about what your boss is looking for, what their motivations are, or how you can approach them in a way that can be more successful than you are today, or how you can be seen by them as something new as opposed to how you're seen today? I think that's all easily managed through tarot readings. You can work through the relationship just like any other relationship, like the peer relationship, or even a romantic one. Basically, you're looking at how two people are interacting and what their motivations are in the relationship. So you can start to consider how best to manage up with your boss, or how best to take a peer along with you, or what your boss's motivations might be, because they're not forthcoming about what those motivations are. A tarot reading can help you think through what their motivations might be and how you can then react to them. So armed with that information, you can react in the best possible way in order to be seen the way you want to be seen, in order to be seen as that new role that you're trying to break into versus the way people see you today. Because we all know it's hard to have people see us in a way that we've already created this personification for ourselves. So a tarot reading can give you those steps to say, these are the things that are concrete that I can do in order to be seen as B when I'm currently seen as A. Or even just to be seen, right? So how do you get someone to notice you? We all have negative and positive attention. A tarot reading can help you think through those action items that can help you be recognized for the things you want to be seen for, so that you're on that path to achieve that success and the role that you want to be in. So a tarot reading can get you through all of that work. The planning, understanding more about who you are, where you're going, where you want to be, and putting those concepts into some actionable advice. Then implementation of those actions and how you can start implementing in a way that will be successful and have you seen the way you want to be seen, and then maintaining those things so that you reach that desired goal. Because it's never one and done, is it? It's never. I mean, maybe when you're someone who has, I don't know, the luck of the Irish or wins the lottery, right? It's never one and done. You got to take some steps to get to you want to get to. And I think tarot can help you get there, and I think I can work with tarot in a way that will help you get there, especially with the talent and skill that I have as not only a tarot reader, but a project manager. So I would encourage you, if you want to get on this train and find a way to make your career successful, make your job successful, make your business successful, be happier where you are in the role that you're in, or shift the role that you're in, then let's sit down and have a tarot reading. I think we can get you unstuck. I think we can take you to that next step you need to take in order to get to that objective you want to reach. I think that we can discuss how to hit the ground running now, so that in January, you are able to take step after step after step and move forward, and then you're working on that resolution in a more effective way rather than waiting for January to get here and wondering what to do next and just kind of floundering around. So connect with me via your the contact link if you're on my website or any other social media channels that you might be on. My handles on all of them is at Coming Out Tarot, all one word, and we can talk about what your next steps will be as you move forward in this professional realm. Thank you.